guys, and welcome back to Clique Theory. This is an actual theory. Surprise of surprises, the Clique Theorist is doing theories. This is a theory I've been working on for a while now, even before all the Dima stuff happened. So it's not trench related, it's not Dima related, which may seem weird because that's kind of, you know, what's actually happening. Everyone's talking about trench, and everyone wants to know what's going on, and I also want to know what's going on, but it's one of those things where we're not gonna know until, you know, the album comes out, and we have more content, and we have the whole story. Right now we only have, like, little pieces. That's not enough to kind of get a scope of the whole picture, or at least not an accurate one. So until we have more information, I'm gonna pass on the trench theories. I am doing a BLURRYFACE theory that I think may connect back to trench, and I'll tell you why. Because I get a lot of crap about how I like to connect BLURRYFACE to older songs. And when I say BLURRYFACE, which is also going to be explained in this video, when I say BLURRYFACE, I don't necessarily mean the character all the time. I more often than not mean what he represents. So today, once and for all, we're gonna try and answer the question, who is BLURRYFACE and why does he want me dead? I feel like that's a question that's been circulating since we were introduced to BLURRYFACE. Who is BLURRYFACE and why does he want me dead? That was like the question. Now it's just what's a BLURRYFACE, which is a relevant question as well. So when researching this, I split the question up into its two parts. Who's BLURRYFACE? Why does he want me dead? We're gonna tackle both today. If it seems like I'm rushing this, it's because it's approximately 1 trillion degrees in Arizona, and I'm suffering. So, part 1. Who is BLURRYFACE? Well, he's a lot of things. The first thing that he most explicitly represents is fear and insecurity. Fear, and I did look up the definitions of both of those words. If you really take apart the terms that Tyler kind of throws around when he's talking about BLURRYFACE, it becomes a lot more apparent how widespread and how all over the place and how wide of a scope this character has over the 21 Pilots discography. So fear is a distressing emotion aroused by impending danger, evil, or pain, whether the threat is real or imagined, and concern or anxiety. So that makes sense. And insecurity is a lack of confidence or assurance, self-doubt, vulnerability. We can see examples of all of that throughout the BLURRYFACE album. Just another attempt to make the voices stop could reference anxious thoughts. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I'm a pro at imperfections, and I'm best friends with my doubt. You spelled Josh weird. Fear might be the death of me. Fear leads to anxiety. I mean, come on! But it's not just the BLURRYFACE record, and this is what I'm talking about. When you go into what BLURRYFACE as a character represents, you can see that he's, for lack of a better phrase, been here the whole time. We've been here the whole time. You were asleep! He pretends that he's okay, but you should see him in bed late at night. He's petrified. Don't know where I should go when the tears and the fears begin to multiply. My shadow grows taller along with my fears. Like, do you see? He also represents parts of Tyler that Tyler doesn't like, whether it's parts of his personality, his identity, mistakes he's made, things he's done he's not proud of. I'm evil to the core. Like, I wanted to be a better brother, better son, wanted to be a better adversary to the evil I had done. A loser hides behind a mask of my disguise, and who I am today is worse than other times. And of course, if you go back, my name is lame, I can't walk and I ain't the same. You're not who you're supposed to be. This is not what you're supposed to see. I must have forgot, you can't trust me. I'm open a moment and close when you show it. Before you know it, I'm lost at sea. It's a different me, a difficult beast feasting on burnt down trees. I'm never what I like. I'm double-sided. The last thing that I noticed BLURRYFACE tends to be associated with that goes further back than just the BLURRYFACE album is things like depression, anxiety, self-destructive thoughts and behaviors. Yeah, I think about the end just way too much, but it's fun to fantasize. I waste all this time trying to run from you, but I'm out of my mind. And of course, are you sensing a pattern? Take me out and finish this waste of a life. Tyler! But I'll kindly enter into rooms of depression, while ceiling fans and idle hands will take my life again. I swear I heard demons yelling, those crazy words they were spelling. They told me I was gone. Am I the only one I know, waging my wars behind my face and above my throat? Being tested by a ruthless examinant that's represented best by my depressing thoughts. I'm forced to deal with what I feel. There is no distraction to mask what is real. I could pull the steering wheel. Don't do that. So it's obvious that BLURRYFACE, maybe not as a character, but as a concept and an idea, has appeared throughout the 21 Pilots discography. Why is that? Well, fear and insecurity are pretty universal concepts. I find over the course of our human existence, one thing consists of consistence, and it's that we're all battling fear. And if you think about it, BLURRYFACE was created to give this feeling a name, a face, and a seat across the table. That had to have already been present in order for it to be so big that Tyler felt the need to personify it, right? So it makes sense that this concept, this idea, these themes of fear and insecurity and depression and anxiety have been there the whole time. And from what little we have of Trench at the moment, we can see hints of BLURRYFACE appearing here too. You'll have to grab my throat and lift me in the air. You'll have to tie me down and break both of my hands. Where does Tyler wear the black paint? Oh, right! Pressures of a new place could be, you know, entering a new phase of your life, entering a new literal place. If this is Tyler leaving Dima and going to Trench, and that's awkward, you know, he could be insecure. There's a lot of reasons that that could point to insecurity and fear. Felt it in my youth, feel it when I'm old. It's been here the whole time. There's so many hints to the fact that this theme and these ideas aren't new, that they've been here all along. He even says in the beginning of the video, "We were here the whole time!" And there will probably be more, you know, references to fear and insecurity in the future. I can't imagine Tyler is going to stop writing about that. I've seen a lot of people say that BLURRYFACE won't be on Trench, which doesn't make sense. I mean, just from the black paint, you can already tell, like, this is something that's not going away so quickly. But also, BLURRYFACE isn't just a character. He's an idea. I'm so sorry. And that's just the first part of the question. We haven't even touched the second part, which is, why does he want me dead? Well, Tyler writes about death a lot. I don't know if you've noticed this, but he writes about death a lot. Sometimes he references it explicitly, you know. Pantaloon is all about the fear of, you know, your impending death, and all your friends fertilize the ground you walk, which is the most morbid thing. Is he okay? Is he okay? Death inspires me like a dog inspires a rabbit. I think about the end just way too much. Take me out and finish this waste of a life. Sometimes death seems better than the migraine in my head. But the most interesting way he references death by far is when he talks about sleep. This is why I know fear and insecurity, the things that BLURRYFACE represents, are going to be relevant in the Trench era. There's faith and there's sleep. We need to pick one, please, because faith is to be awake, and to be awake is for us to think, and for us to think is to be alive. The line will go to the ocean pier and walk right off into the sea, and then we fall asleep. I'll stay awake, because the dark's not taking prisoners tonight. He's also constantly telling us how mornings are hopeful and good, and nighttime is scary and bad. Most people sleep at night, so, you know, not me though. Remember, the morning is when night is dead. I will fear the night again. East is up. I'm fearless when I hear the sun low. East is up. I mean, come on. The sun rises in the east. So why does BLURRYFACE want Tyler to sleep? Well, if faith is to be awake, and to be awake is for us to think, and for us to think is to be alive, then if we aren't thinking, we aren't awake. And if we aren't awake, we're asleep. And if we're asleep, we're dead? I don't think it's a literal death though. You know, Tyler loves his metaphors. What I keep coming back to is how in March to the Sea, he's awake and alive when he breaks away from the status quo. You know, how everyone is walking toward the sea, just to their ocean graves. Like, that's pretty explicit, like right there. He says ocean graves right after he says, and then we fall asleep. Like, sleep, death. There you go. So maybe sleep and death refers to life with no meaning or purpose. Not just going through the motions until you die. Which is precisely morbid enough to be something that Tyler Joseph would write about. So I'm tempted to believe that. Not only that, but nighttime might be scary because of mental health stuff. Like, when you're alone with your thoughts at night. And the only other thing he's written as that scary is, like, you know, not having a radio. Like, he writes it like it's something dangerous. As someone who suffers a lot of mental health issues, that might be because at night you're kind of left alone with your thoughts before you fall asleep. And especially for people who have sleep issues, who have insomnia, Tyler is notorious for staying up till 3 a.m. and starting clubs on Twitter. I'm still waiting to join. For insomniacs with depression or anxiety, nighttime could be terrifying. However, night doesn't last forever. When the sun rises and the day resets, it's safer. At the end of the day, BLURRYFACE is the culmination of your fear, your insecurity, all your darkest thoughts. So it makes sense that he wouldn't want you to put yourself out there. You know, talk about your thoughts and feelings or share your creations with the world like Tyler's doing. So it makes sense that his fears and insecurities have gotten worse over time to the point where he decided, I want to personify this feeling as a character and talk about it a lot. He probably also wouldn't want you to feel safe and comfortable, given he's literally a mental phenomenon that represents the exact opposite of safety and comfortability. Let's wrap this up. I'm sweating so much. Who is BLURRYFACE? Well, BLURRYFACE is your fears, insecurities, your dark thoughts, and parts of yourself that you don't like. And why does he want you dead? Because he's the literal personification of all the dark impulses and facets of your human nature. And the unspoken question, are you gonna connect all of this to Trench? Oh, hell yeah. All I can say about Trench so far is that the line, we've been here the whole time, you were asleep, kind of makes me think that there's a big thing like this that we've been missing. And I'm excited to see what it is. So, if you have any other requests for theories that you would like me to do that aren't Trench, or maybe do you want a Dima update, summary, everything that's happened so far, kind of timeline video? If so, let me know in the comments, or tweet me, or whatever, I don't know. It's your life. You do what you want. And I will see you next time, whenever that may be, hopefully not in a year. Stay street.
We've been here the whole time. You were asleep. Time to wake up.